team is genuinely excited to interact with all of you during this event. Let's dive deep and explore. Also, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Satish sir for organizing this event. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Pooja.
Thanks, Pranav. Uh,
Sorry,
Welcome.
sorry, Pooja, sorry to interrupt. Can we check with Satish sir if everybody is ready, please? Pranav, have you coordinated with Satish sir?
Yes, Mita. I had a conversation and everyone are ready and we are good to go now.
Okay. Can someone from the hall please let us know if you can hear us?
Yes, time match.
Hmm.
Satish sir, are you available on the call?
Participants should mute themselves. Only the Spock should be the
Are-
one point of contact speaking.
Do we have any of the professors or Satish sir on the call? Any faculty members available in the hall? Could you please unmute and speak so we know that you can hear us? Satish sir, are you on the call? Pooja, let's just wait for a minute, please, because I don't know if they can hear us to start with. But also,
Understand,
I
Shweta.
was told that they will only join from 3 different halls, and
Agree,
Some of,
individuals.
some of the students are using their own laptop, it seems, Smita, from the lab.
That is all right. But can the people in the room hear us? Can someone speak from the hall, please?
The ones, yeah. You could put it across in the chat if microphone is not available.
Hello.
Yes, sir, we
Hello?
can hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
Praveen sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sir, is it audible now for you?
Yes, it is audible, sir.
Here also the students got connected with that link. So now we can, shall we start the session, sir?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Pooja, we can
Sir.
start the session. Thank you.
Understood, yeah, Pranav. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for that acknowledgement. And we are delighted to welcome all our dear participants for this session today with the OpenWeaver, wherein I am your trainer for today. I am the senior developer advocate. My name is Pooja Agrawal, and so today I will be talking about this very interesting programming language called Python, and we'll go through the basics of it. But as we proceed forward, I would like to put some light on OpenWeaver, which is our SaaS technology company, which helps support millions of developers build their ideas faster by reusing open source software. So our vision is to reinvent digital realization. Simply put, improve the way applications are built. So we are doing this by investing in a unique combination of public domain knowledge and artificial intelligence. We believe in delivering smarter ways that can help build the digital world of tomorrow. We have a product which we call Candy that can help you get to, quick millions and millions of functions developed really quickly into a complete set of program with the help of code snippets that you can grab from this interesting tool called Candy. So you could put up a tool together for integrating a tool as simple as ChatGPT. You could use it for Stripe payments. You could use it for, let's say, adding a map to a page, or as simple as email authentication with following few steps of few clicks onto the platform. So Candy basically recommends you the best fit along with any license compliance requirement or any dependent libraries that are required. Also, you could check out any vulnerabilities that the particular tool repository library that you're able to search on the platform brings in. So with every code snippet, a developer saves between 30 minutes to nearly 6 hours of their time. So with that thought and significance, I would also want to let you know that this name Candy comes in from, or basically it signifies knowledge and intelligence. So it has been comprised of both these keywords, and hence the keyword Candy has been we have come up with it. So for now, let's get into the agenda for the day. What are you going to learn from today's session? So we'll talk a bit on this Python programming language. How is it different? What makes it so unique? What makes it, the prime language to be used throughout the world in most of the application development? Because we're also going to cover the data structures in Python, and then we will move to some code snippet exercise to give you, the ease to use Candy into your tool as well, and I mean into your systems as well. And then we will quickly go on to build up a simple calculator application in Python. And as we build up that application, we are going to discuss the key concepts around building that application. So before we head over to the concepts, we first want to ask you to use the chat feature and click on the link that will be shared by my colleague just in a minute. So you could see that there is a course page that has been shared with you. So you would be able to see this course page. After you click on the link that is being provided in the chat, there is a dedicated page created for your college on the community platform. Okay, so what is this platform? Basically, you're currently viewing this entire session. Can you please mute yourself? Yeah, you're currently viewing this session on the OpenWeavers community platform, wherein we have a dedicated page for your college. Here we have listed down what are the objectives that you will, what are the learning objectives from this session. As say, you would be very well versed with the fundamentals of the Python programming language. You'll be able to get a hint of how you would use list, functions, tuples, etc. while you are creating an application in Python. And then we'll go ahead and build up an application together. And as we build up that application, you will also learn how you can customize it, use its code. You could even share it with your friends, with others, to be able to showcase the changes that you have done with the existing code. All right. Then there is this 10-minute refresher video that is available for you that you can use to check out the concepts that we have discussed just in under 10 minutes. So you could use this as a video to revise the concepts from the session, and as to how you could also play around with the kit, customize it, etc. All right. So we have an interesting Candy one-click kit. What is this kit? We give you all the requirement, dependencies, everything packaged into a solution that with the help of simple few clicks, you're able to set the entire solution source onto your systems. So we would go ahead and work on this. But even before that, I would also want to let you know that there is an option to check out the code snippet exercises here just below. Okay, so I will discuss these exercises within the session as we will discuss the concepts, but you could also check these out under the code snippet exercise heading here. And then there is a assessment option that is available, for which we will talk after the session. In fact, I would request all of you to sign up onto this platform. That way you would have an option to interact with the platform in a more, uh, you know, in a way where you would be able to post your questions onto this page, which is dedicatedly created for your college. Okay, so you could hit the reply button, ask your query, and we will get back to you once we will have your queries listed down here on this page. So for that, you need to sign up onto the platform. And then the sign up process is simple. You just have to put in an email ID and a password. And then you will be able to have both this chat feature activated as well as the option to hit the reply button and post your query on this page. All right. So now let's get started with how you would set up the kit. So under the step 2 practical exercise section, you have your Candy one click kit button. Go ahead and please click on it. This will take you to a basics of Python programming page. This page lists down information on the programming language as well as how you could set things up onto your Windows operating system as well as on other operating systems. For now, I hope you guys are following up alongside with me. So then you just have to follow what I am doing. So we will just go ahead and click on this one-click installer. This will download a zip file. Okay. We would just click on it and open it. Let's say this is in my downloads folder. So I would just go ahead. All right. Then go ahead and say extract all. So this was a folder file. Since I asked to open it with a Chrome, that's why this symbol is showcasing. Just don't worry about it. It will be a zipped file for you. Then double click the extracted folder. You have to stay muted, please. And then within the extracted folder, you will have a executable batch file. Okay. Within the extracted folder, you will have a executable file. Double click the batch file. This will start setting the things onto your systems directly. Okay. If it asks you for a Windows notification, then you just have to say more info, run anyway. Then this setup process will start happening onto your systems. So let the setup happen. In the meanwhile, you can minimize the screen and I will discuss the concepts through the session. All right. So we're going to discuss what this language Python is and why are we here to talk about it today. So most of us already know that Python is one of the most widely used programming language today. It is not just used for, let's say, game development, application development, but it is primarily used in most of the research projects underlining machine learning, deep learning, and you're also using it for development of uh, simple scripting exercises as well. So today we would want to compare it with Perl, Ruby, all of these languages. Also, wherein we find that Python comes out as a very clear, very simple, close to human or high level language, sort of a programming language. So any language which we or us humans understand is what is called a high level language. And all these programming languages like Python, Ruby, Perl, Java, JavaScript, etc., all these basically are what made for the human to write so that the human is able to interact with the machine and that way tell the machine to behave in a certain manner. So Python programming language, it is not just a simple programming language, but it is also known as one of the most popular scripting languages of sorts. So when we say language as a scripted language, or let's call Python as an interpreted language, you can execute the instructions line by line. And this Python, if you combine, if you combine how it has come into being, it has combined the concepts of C language and Java programming language. So both the concepts from C, or let's say from the procedural oriented programming language, combined with the object oriented programming language called Java, has given us this very powerful programming language today. And if we go into more details, the shortcomings of C we no longer see in Python. So there was illegal access to pointers in C programming language. I hope as first years you may have encountered this issue if you still check out the C language. If not, then with Python, that problem completely gets eradicated. Who developed it? So this guy called Godivo van Rossum in the year 1990, he was at the CWI centers at Netherlands. And then at that time, he was working on a project of for himself. I think Amoeba was the name. And then as he was working on it with another programming language called ABC, he realized that he wanted to develop something which was more simpler and easier for the programmers to work around with. Any common person should also be able to learn quickly and also develop things with the programming language. So he went ahead and during his Christmas holidays, rather than getting back home, he stayed back at the center and started working on developing a language, which then he named Python. So the very interesting part about Python is, other than it being a name that resonates with, family of snakes, but it is not how the creator, Godivo, thought of. It was just basically from a TV show that he watches and he really liked a lot, which he calls Monty's Python's Flying Circus. So this was a show that he used to regularly watch, and hence he pick up the name of the programming language from here. So that is how Python came into being. And since then, there is no looking back. We keep seeing that there are version updates every year. And there is ever since the starting, we see that there was a good and a great evolution that happened during March 2014 when Python's 3.4 version had come. With 3.6 in December 2016, things have moved really fast, and we could see that there is no looking back for Python. So as of today, we have 3.11.11. In fact, as we are talking, we could check out there could be another latest version that could have been released. So Python is one of those programming languages which is not only easy to learn, but also close to how we speak in English language. It is free and open source. So another thing that makes Python so powerful and interesting is we can all use it free of cost. You don't need to pay any upfront fee or any proprietary fee to work around this language. Also, it is open source. So when we say a programming language is open source, we primarily are concerned, when we are primarily talking about a technology or a language that can be used by anyone and everyone free of cost, and just by engaging in the community that helps in developing such tools today, that we are able to see so much progress. So even Python is able to give us amazing libraries like scikit-learn. It is able to give us libraries like OpenCV specifically for computer vision domain. So how has that been possible? Because there were a lot of contributors from everywhere in the world. So there were people who were interested, like just like your Linux kernel, which has different variants of operating system. These open source community members, they take up a project, they start developing on it, they are having methods and functions on anything that you say, right? On every scientific operation, you have a function in Python. So that is what the power of open source is. And if we talk about another feature of Python, this is a interpreted language. So any language which is interpreted, you could run it line by line, get the output there and then. So that way you are not waiting to compile the entire program from the very beginning till the end. Let's say from the top left side of the program to the right corner. With the traditional programming languages, that was something that had to be done if we have to work around them. So we don't have to wait to compile the entire program. You could check out these errors by running it. Use because it's an interpreted language, it's easy for us to gather the errors around it. Also, it is platform independent. So this it has taken from Java, as we say that it is a combination of the good things from C as well as Java. So this is platform independent programming language. That means you can pick up the bytecode, and once you have it compiled on a particular system, you could use it to run on different machines. So that we will talk a bit in a bit about why and how Python became the why is all programming languages should be platform independent. And we see since the invention of Java and other upcoming languages, most of these are platform independent, because we see each person would collaborate with every other person and then go on developing different modules of a application. So this platform independence make it more and more easier to share files on different systems and different configurations. In fact, we see that I already talked about the huge library support that Python has in different domains, not just on the scraping part, application development part, but also on the research end or in the scientific computations end. Also, this is highly scalable. You could quickly scale and work around with multiple people into multiple applications with Python. So that makes it really one of the most used programming languages in the world in most of the application development. So what kinds of applications we could deploy? Django applications in web development with Python. We could go ahead with different softwares that are built up on that have the entire okay. So software development, and then we are talking about the use in mathematics, computing. You could actually use it to work around in data science. So most of the applications around predictive analysis, around your analytical field. Let's say we want to uh, understand that what amongst an organization which is having different products, which product is working the best. So then that is also possible with the help of Python programming language. How does it work? There is a low level platform independent representation of the source code that we write, which is bytecode, and your source code is itself a high level code, which your source code is what is being converted into the intermediate level code. So this bytecode is an intermediate level code, let's call it that. Or you could call it a low level platform independent representation. This bytecode is a 1 byte instruction or a 8-bit instruction. Each byte will be, consisting of 8 bits. And then you can find the bytecode instruction in the .pyc file. So what is the file extension? It is .pyc. So talking about the types of Python compiler. So you have C Python, Iron Python, Stackless Python. So what are these different types of Python? These are, when we talk about compilers, so basically your source code or your high level language program is converted into the bytecode. So you need a converter, you need, a program or a mechanism that will do this conversion from one form to another. So that we are calling a Python compiler. So based on Ruby, we have a Ruby Python. For PyPy, there is a compiler. For JPython, there is Anaconda Python, which is based on the Anaconda stack application that you have that you can set up onto your systems. So how does it all work? So we first write a source program, and that source program we save it with a .py file. Okay. Then you convert, or let's say the same source code program which you have saved with a .py file extension, you compile it and then you change it into a .pyc format. And after this, the compiled file that we are having, we then try to get to the bytecode of it. So this bytecode or the intermediate low level code that you have, this can, this bytecode, nobody will understand. So we need to convert it into machine level code. For that, we have your Python's virtual machine, which your interpreter has. But the interesting part is this bytecode is what you could carry and use on different machines, because most of your machines will have what? PVM. Whatever system you would, work around with, that will have PVM. And then what the PVM will do, every time you will give a bytecode file to it, it will convert it into the respective machine code, 01 format. So there is one format which we humans understand, which is high level language, which is your source code, which is your program language in which you are writing it. Then it is converted into this bytecode format, which is the intermediate low level format that we are using to, say that our language is platform independent. And the same is converted into machine understandable form, which is a 01 format. So then these instructions, once they are being understood by the machine, accordingly it executes it on the processor and the results are displayed on the computer. So when we talk about executing a Python program, how can you execute a Python program? You could use a command line window. You could use even a notepad. You could use IDEs, your integrated development environments like PyCharm, Visual Studio, Anaconda. But we also want to introduce to a very interesting tool, which is Candy and CandyKit that you can actually use to execute and run your interesting programs within it. So you're already setting it up as we are discussing onto your systems as of now. For now, I just want to showcase you running. I may have to reshare my screen. All right. So the interesting thing that I would like to showcase you as of now, first of all, I need to check whether I have a Python installed or not. So I can just go on command line, and as I open the command line, here I could just write Python and I could see the version of Python and the date on which it was set up, etc., etc. Further, when I want to run it from the command line, I could just write the first simple function as print hello world and then just get it showcased as an output here itself. I could also do 2 plus 3, and then I would be able to check out the output as 5. So what I'm trying to showcase here, there are ways to run it. You could actually run it just like your Java programs. Excuse me. You could also run it just like your Java programs from the command line. But there is an interesting way to actually experiment with it. So there is this, then there is your Python's IDE. So this IDE has been by default provided by Python itself. So here, if I do the same things, the good thing is, if you see, there is a change uh, when I'm writing the method name, which is a predefined function. And you could see whatever is in the text form. I hope it is visible to all of you. So I wrote the same command, print hello world, and hello world, which is my text, is again in a different color, and my output is in a different color. So this shell, which comes by default once you set up Python onto your systems, basically is a better way of working around in Python programs as compared to command line. But we want to give you something which is swifter than this, which is your Candy Kits. So CandyKit could actually, once it is set up, I'll showcase you the power of it. When we are talking about CandyKit, it will automatically help you get, you don't have to download Python, you don't have to set up the path, etc. Everything will automatically be done by this kit that we are currently working with today. So what are the different data types in Python? You have standard data types like numeric, wherein you have integer, complex, float. So we know that complex is 2 plus 3 iota as one of our data types. So the numeric data types is one category. Then there is dictionary, Boolean, set, and then there is sequence types. So most of your things that you will work around will in Python will be called strings. And let's say I just wrote hello world. So that hello world is also strings, right? The text form also is strings. And then you have a list, you have tuples, you have set. So what are these? These are basically the data structures. Apart from the data types, these actually are the data structures that help you create an application, store your data, manage your data better, and only then you are able to work around and make things easier for you. So quickly, as I'm talking about functions in Python, let me demo you how you could actually, let me demo you that how you can actually go to your page, dedicated page for your college and check out a interesting exercise. So let's say I will click directly here on the exercise one. This takes me to candy.openviewer.com. So the tool is called Candy. And if I would just hit here, click on this, and then say print text in Python, I just have to make that search and say enter. And quickly go to code snippets here. All right. So I could see that I am actually getting a lot of examples around how I could, use print text. So I could just pick up any one from here. Let's pick up this very simple one-liner and then go to our notebook. So before we go to the notebook, I would also want you to open the solution that you were setting up onto your systems. All right. So as we were doing the setup, you should have followed, I mean, these steps would have already followed onto your systems as well, where the dependencies are installed, repository is downloaded and extracted. So you could see that the Python basics is set up as at C Candy Kits. Now you go ahead and say yes and enter. This will automatically open a notebook for you. All right. So we'll just let the notebook to load. So this is our notebook. You would just say file and new notebook. So as you ask for a new notebook, you just say yes to this is the new Jupyter notebook that is currently being present. So I copied, pasted my code from the search result here. I'll copy it, paste it in this new notebook cell. And then if I want, I can just indent it better. And then just say,
Pooja, just a second, Pooja.
okay.
Satish sir, I can see so many students going out and coming into the meeting, Satish sir. Can you please check on that? So it's very disturbing for the session.
Actually, ma'am, that is something which will be good.
Satish sir, are you there? So every now and then people are getting out of the meeting and then coming back. Hello, sir. Okay, maybe let me try reaching him out on the phone, Pooja. Maybe you can continue, Pooja. Sorry about
Understand.
that.
No problem. Thank you. But this actually helps me also. So,
Yeah. Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
So
Bye-bye.
from here, thank you, Rufina. So from here, this is the part that is most important for you guys. Okay, please concentrate. This will help you get yourself one line, not just one line, but multiple steps ahead in your journey in Python. So what we're trying to do here, guys, this is a simple print method, right? All of you must have written one of your own already. But what I'm trying to tell you here as we are discussing this, that I could just bring it on from any simple platform called Candy, right? I could just copy paste a print command, say control enter, and then it would just print as an output. You could put anything here. I just showcased you a simple command like displaying output on the screen could also be searched on the Candy platform. So if you are a newbie, if you're a beginner and you would want to work around many other concepts, let's say we have another snippet on taking input from user. So I don't know how to take input from user in Python. So what would I say? Take input from user in Python, and then I would just hit enter again or hit find again.
You're on mute, Pooja. I think someone is.
Just I think somebody is like doing.
Yeah.
This is very mischievous. Even I was pulled out of the meeting. See, guys, this is for
Okay.
you, right? If you want to learn, please learn it judiciously. If you cannot, please do not disturb who are learning, right? There are a couple of others who are trying to learn, and hence this is the something that you shouldn't be doing here, especially in a virtual session like this. So please let others learn. If you still feel that you're not comfortable, you can just stay out of the session. Please do not mute me and also not pull anyone else out of the meeting. Follow a code of conduct. You are uh, not just any other site students, you're the technical guys, right? You're the ones who are going to develop technology. So let the technology work for you, work for me as well. Thank you. All right. So we were talking about something interesting. We were talking about that if I could find something as taking input from the user, as simple as that in Python, right? We could simply pick up input from the user. Nothing could, stop you from searching, a simple function for taking input from the user in Python on the platform Candy. So I'll quickly go there, hit the search button, and see that this one-liner code is going to help me learn how to take input. So I'll copy it, paste it here, and then I would just try to run and see what it gives. Okay, it does ask me for my input. So now if I like, I could just ask and change. Is this my first ever session in Python? I mean, that's what, yeah, that's how you would. Mm, all right, I'll have to first enter something here. Let's say, okay. So I'll just execute it once again. So now I could see that, is this my first ever session in Python? It is asking yes or no. I could accordingly respond here. I could also change the input from a strawberry ice cream to user user underscore input. I could give a variable like that. And for now, I could say yes and enter. So for rerunning it would actually save whatever is being asked as in, whatever I have been providing my input in this user input. So this is again something very simpler, very, very simple. So let's pick something apart from these two methods. Let's find out another exercise where we can also go ahead and create a solution around with if else statements. So let's say I would again click on Candy and then say, help me with if else statements in Python. So not necessary to write Python, okay? You would actually put up a filter, language filter here and click on Python and just say view results. So that is also available. Go and hit code snippets and then find any code snippet that you would want to work around with. Let's say the first one looked really simple, where it is actually taking a number as an input and again, trying to find whether it is even or odd. So let's just copy paste it, create another cell here, paste this code, and then let me try running it. So there is a chance that there may be some syntax error. Let me enter the input here. All right. So then now, as I run, it is asking me for a number. I would just increase the size of the screen. Hope that way it is visible to all of you. So give a number. Let's say I give 23 and then I say enter. It is asking me for another number. Let's say 12. So then it is saying one of the numbers is even, which is correct, right? 12 is an even number. So amongst two numbers that it has taken as input, it is trying to state if a number is even, one of the numbers is even or one of the numbers is odd. All right. So since it got already satisfied in the first if condition, this condition where number one, after doing a modulo, calculating the remainder is equal to 0, then it would say one of the numbers is even here itself. Or if the number is divisible by 2, then also it will say one of the numbers is even. Else it will say one of the numbers is odd. So the condition has to be satisfied to be able to give us the response like this. So I could get a very simple code directly by searching on candy.openweaver.com and use it in my code. So you could actually build a lot of simple applications and programs using these code snippets that are available to you. So we'll get back to the concepts of the session. Okay. Just reshare once again. So yes, we were talking about functions in Python. We actually just checked out two very interesting functions, right? The most simple functions, which is print and input. So both these functions that we used, what are these? These are inbuilt functions. These are already available to us for use directly. So, and what are functions? Again, they are a block of code, that is specifically organized for you. You could just reuse the code. You could
Pooja, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, so you could actually perform a set of operations with the help of, let's say, a function. So when we were talking about the print function, it helps you print to the screen. When we are talking about the input function, we are actually talking about taking input from the user. So what it helps us in doing, it basically helps you organize better. It helps you put your set of instructions together under a block. That way you are able to use it in a manner where you would see that it makes reading the application easier. You get a high degree of code reusing possible with the help of everything put under a function or a method. And Python gives you what? It gives you built-in functions like print, it gives you built-in functions like input, it gives you built-in functions on varied amounts of methods and libraries that you would like to use as you are building applications. So what are some built-in functions? So which these are the ones that we currently use. But what are the user-defined functions? So there are user-defined functions which I as a user will create. Let's say if you see on the right, there is a function. Here, if you see this def, this is the keyword that we have used, and then print me is the name of the function. You could name the function with any name that you would like. And str string is the kind of the parameter or the data type that I was talking about is going to pass into this function. So this helps print a passed string function out to the output screen. And that way we are able to accomplish one of the tasks using a method or a function. So these functions in Python, they could also be called methods. So going forward, we also want to concentrate on the way of organizing and storing data such that, when we are willing to access it back again or modify it, we are able to do it really efficiently. So you have list, you have tuple, you have set, you have dictionary. So there are different methods like these that you could use to efficiently utilize different methods, or let's say to be able to efficiently develop an application around with these data structures. So if you try to differentiate between a list and a tuple, so list basically is enclosed or is a collection of heterogeneous data types. I can have different types of elements stored in a list, but can I not store different elements in a tuple? So no, that is not the case. Even in a tuple, you could have strings, you could have integer, you could have any type of data. But how are these two different then? And why are we requiring two types of data structures? So tuple differentiates or differs in the behavior with list when we are talking
Pooja, we are
about.
unable to see the presentation, Pooja. I think you need to reshare it.
Okay, Rufina, the share option is disabled.
Oh, no, no, we
Somehow.
were actually, me and Pranav were trying out something because to maybe
Understand.
that would have happened. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So is it visible? I guess it's visible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. So yes. So I was talking about how we can, what is the difference when we are talking about list and tuple? So when we talk about list as compared to tuple, the difference is in syntax, obviously, but the difference is in terms of the security of the data that you are storing. Supposedly, I'm creating an application that does not let a function, a method, access another method or a data within that particular data storage, or let's say data structure. So that particular data that I don't want to change, that I don't want to be deleted, replaced, that I would store in tuple. Okay, tuple as a data structure. So tuple gives you that capability, high security capability, where you do not need to worry about your data being overwritten, about your data being replaced. So whenever you think you're developing an application where you may not need to change the data again, then you would declare that data in a form of a tuple. Similarly, when you talk about sets, dictionaries, so set is again a data structure, which is how it is in mathematics, or how you have your union and intersection sets. Dictionary, however, is a very interesting data structures that could be one of your key data structures that you will use whenever you are working around applications in Python. So to help you well versed with these concepts in Python, let us now quickly move to the kit that we had set up. So your kit should be open like this. I did showcase you that you just have to say yes, and a simple calculator program will open for you. So what is this program on a calculator? Since it's your basic session, we first have all the four methods. Let's say you have a method for addition, you have a method for subtraction, a method for multiplication, a method for division. All right. So we know these are the four key basic operations that you need when you're working around in a calculator. But uh, the the way you declare here is you use the def keyword, you use the name. This in blue is the name of the function. These two are the parameters that you pass to this method. So this method, when you get the output from it, it would return a x plus y. This would return x minus y. Similarly, x multiplied by y and x divided by y. So we try to run and first check what this program will give. Let us check the outcome. So let's say run all cells. And as I run, I would see it is asking me to select an operation. Let's say add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Suppose I chose division. So then it will ask me the first number. So again, I would choose a number, let's say 50. And then I will choose the second number as 10. And then obviously it will be able to give me a very simple divided output from here. And we are just trying to build up something really simple here. So then it is saying, let's do next calculation. So when we say next calculation, it is a yes or no. So let's say I say yes. So then again, it will ask me the choice. Suppose this time I want to do subtraction. So I would just say again 50, then 10, and then it will be able to give me the output for subtraction as well. And then it will keep asking me again and again. Up till when? Up till I don't say no. So once I say no, then the program will stop running. So let us check what we have done to create a simple program as this in Python. After I have defined my four function bodies here for addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division, and these are the instructions that were showcased to the user. Select your operation. So first is addition, second is subtraction. Similarly, likewise. Then this is your important loop, while true. A loop is a function, or let's say it will basically run whatever is inside it until some condition will break out the loop or stop the loop. Also very important, you see everything is left indented. So Python is a indented language. You really need to follow the indentation rules here, or else you will get a lot of errors for running your before running your program. So then we have the input method that you recall we used to gather users input. So enter choice 1, 2, 3, 4, and the choice is then stored in the variable called choice. From this choice, now we want to check what is the choice 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say we enter the first number, we enter the second number, and then store it in number 1 and number 2. So whatever number, whatever is in choice. Suppose I chose 4, right, initially. So if 4 is in any of these? Yes. So then it'll first take both the numbers from me. And if choice equal to 1, no. Was it 2? No. 3? No. It was 4. So then what it did, it print the first number, showcase this, right? This symbol for division. Then the second number, and then we simply called the divide method also. So what is the divide function going to do? That call will come from there to this def divide. Both the numbers that you have entered earlier will come here, and then it will calculate x divided by y, and that would be returned as answer to the method here. And that's how you're able to get your answer equal to, answer equal to 5 here. So then why is it again and again looping? All these conditions that you have seen here, these are present within an if else if. So Python is a language which does not have only if else, but it also has a else if option. So when you want to give multiple conditions within the if and else, that can be provided in the else if. Further, you have again taken an input from the user. Do you want to continue your calculation? So if you say yes, then it would again, it won't break. The loop won't break. It will keep going continuously. Again, check the choice, collect the choice, and based on the choice, it will accordingly get you the outcome. But suppose this value of next calculation is no, only then it will break from the loop. I didn't showcase you the invalid input, so let me showcase you that as well. So suppose it is asking me to enter an operation, I enter an operation as 5. So this is currently saying an invalid input. It does not meet condition 1, 2, 3, 4. So then it will automatically check else and print invalid input. Similarly, if I just say 1 and give 2 numbers, it will showcase me the addition. And then here, when I say, let's say anything apart, so then here also I will have to apply a check. If required, you could add a check here also. Apart from yes or no, since I entered the string only, or else it would have also come out. So let's say now I want to do the third operation. Again, 32, 46. So then it has just multiplied these and then again waiting for me to say no. So only when I say no, the loop will stop. So apart from this simple program that is present, what you could do, you could create a function for modulus, remainder calculation, right? How do you do it? You just divide, add a method here. Let's say def modulo. And then again mention x comma y. Then this is indented. So you would say return. And the return, you would say x percentage y. So then it will be able to also work around this solution. For that, I'll have to also create a choice. Let's say print 5 modulo. And also you'll have to add a choice option here. Enter a choice option here. Call it else if. Number 1, number 2, I would just have to say modulo and call this as well. And here also I have to give the user the fifth option, which is modulo. To just increase the space here. All right. So when we all right, we just have to add a colon ahead of it. And then we could see that we have an option for a fifth choice. Let's say 5. We enter a number 10 here. We enter the second number 2 here. And with that, modulo should be able to calculate and yeah, this is the problem. So we just don't have to forget this. You saw I just missed out on this fifth choice and hence it was not able to do the calculation. It just quit after number 2. Let's check it again. I'll have to just rerun it. All right, just say no here. So I'm just telling you how you could make your own modifications as well. 5, let's say again 10, 2, and you could see it's still giving me 0, 0. And this symbol should also change here. All right. So yeah, that's how you could just tinker and keep, changing stuff. And again, every time there is an input, you just have to close that and then rerun the cell. All right. So yeah, that's how we also added, method. Again, now I guess it looks correct. Completely able to calculate the remainder. So this is how you could tinker with this candy kit that is available. I will also showcase you where this is present onto your systems. So you see it is present in C candy kits, Python basics. Okay. So we would just quickly go in the space, C, you go to candy kits, and then there you should have your Python basics. And within this Python basics, it is not just one program that we have showcased you. There are some separate programs for Boolean dictionary functions and that list that you can go ahead and actually run and check as well. So for today, this is it from our end. I am now open to some interesting questions from you guys that you may have on the Python programming language. All right. So quick query as to do you have any questions on the kit that we discussed? I hope this was interesting for those who were listening to it really eagerly. So we tried to work around a very simple solution, but we tried to develop a complete calculator on its own. In fact, you could modify it to add modulo, you could modify it to add any other, you could even add factorial. You could create a calculator that could create a factorial of a number. You could add a Armstrong as one of the methods. Palindrome. Check if you want to check within the same calculator if there is a string that's a palindrome. So all that is possible. You could do tinkering. You already have your inbuilt, uh, you know, kit with you, the Jupyter notebook with you. Check it, run it, and it should be good to go for you. So I hope if you currently are not asking any questions, then my suggestion is go ahead on the page, work around this exercise. If not now, then you could also find the recording of this session. We will upload the recording of this session within 1.5 hours. I think within 1 hour, we'll have your recording uploaded here. So after this, if you would like to review it again, you could go ahead and review the recording. And also you have to click on the take assessment, fill in your details here and mention you have attended a college bootcamp. Answer these very two simple questions to get yourself a participation certificate. And if you would like to go one level up and you would want to get an achievement certificate from us, for that you just have to tinker with the kit like I showcased you, during the session. You just have to make changes, your own customized changes, and then upload a simple screenshot using this option. Upload a screenshot if you think that you want to add a complete drive link, you could add a drive link as well using this link feature that is available. So a screenshot is good to go. However, a link is also good. Accordingly, we will send you a upgraded achievement certificate for this session. So I guess this is the time. If there are any questions that you have for the session, you can just quickly ask those now. If you think you are not able to mute yourself, you could put your queries in the chat box as well. The chat box that is available. Use it to get queries answered there. All right. I hope I kept the session really, interesting. Apart from a little bit disturbance that you guys had, I feel it did went interesting enough for you. So this is it from our team here at OpenWeaver. Um Rufina, would you like to add anything?
Pooja, it was a very good session. Thank you very much. Hope the students complete all their projects and then submit it. Satish sir, are you there? Sir, please guide the students, sir, and see to that they all complete the projects and submit it. Pooja, do we have a timeline for that?
So
Yeah,
Rufina, Sandhya, can you mention the duration?
Yeah, next week, 8th August, Rufina, is the last date for them to submit.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So I
Thank
will
you,
just
Sandhya.
reiterate it.
Hello, can you mute yourself? Okay.
So I will just reiterate it for the students who may have missed it. The page that a dedicated page that is created for your college, which also has the exercise as well as the assessment. Both will be available for you till the 8th of August. Okay. Please finish it by then. Post then we won't be able to certify any one of you. So go ahead, experiment with this kit. Also post your queries by hitting this reply button here, and we'd be may have. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rufina ma'am, Satish sir, for this session. And I hope we'll be able to do many more interesting ones with you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you so much, Pooja. Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you, Pranav. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rufina. Thank you,
Thank
Pooja.
you, Rufina. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Sandhya.
Thank you.
Thanks, team.